What's going on, y'all? This is Thousand Trails Three Flags. Thousand Trails Three Flags is right on Highway 44, just about a mile west of Wildwood, Florida, and not very far at all from The Villages. If you've heard of The Villages, they're a very interesting collection of communities for retirement age people, any age. But it's really close here. When you want to go to your Walmart, the closest one is in The Villages. This highway normally isn't this busy. I was actually surprised. I'm usually working this time in the afternoon, so I was shocked when I came out here and saw just how many cars were racing by. This park is one of the actual Thousand Trails parks. It's not an encore. In the wintertime, it is a high-use park, so you can only reserve 2 weeks at a time, which you can then only have 2 reservations at a time for high-use parks. I do really like this park. I was pleasantly surprised when I arrived, and most of the sites were 50 amp with full hookups. I had gotten a few different wires crossed in my memory. Not to mention that when you go to the Thousand Trails website and look at the map, there is mostly 30 amp sites on the map, all in the front. Those have all been upgraded with brand new 50 amp power. And they're all pull-through sites on top of that. Well, let's go walk around this park and take a look. Access to Interstate 75 is not too far down that way. Wildwood is back this way. Getting into the park's pretty easy. There is no gate or gate codes here. We showed up coming from the Thousand Trails Orlando, trying to get here by noon and not be early after what we encountered at Thousand Trails Orlando. I wound up pulling it at 11:59. Nobody gave me any trouble. There were a few others that came in behind us, but we parked right here. They've got a couple spots like this for you to pull off to the side while you go in and check in. And then the staff was very friendly, very nice. She did assign me a site, but she asked me if I would have to use Starlink or not. And she assigned me a site that would have really good open skies if I did need Starlink. Packages can be delivered here, $5 per package, unless it's medication, emergency RV parts, or your mail from a mail service. Now that's, gotta watch the details on that. That's not, you can receive letter mails here. That's when I need escapees to FedEx me my mail, they allowed that to be delivered here, and then they didn't charge me for it, which I was pleasantly surprised. Right up here in the front, we do have a swimming pool that is not heated. Let's see if we can get a shot of that real quick. Pool is pretty popular at the moment, so I'll see if I can't come back and get some footage of that later. I think I misspoke there. The pool is heated. There is no hot tub. Recreational center is pretty busy here. They've got stuff going on all the time. Church every Sunday. Bingo every Tuesday and Friday at 5. That's an adult-only bingo because you pay, can win cash. And on the other side of this fence here, you can see a lot of cows. And I mean a lot of cows. So all these sites up here are all 50 amp full hookups with sewer. There are a few 30 amps left in the back section. There are only 2 real sections here that all go down to right by the rec center. It's kind of a choke point between the 2 different areas. And these up here, they're all pull through. Some of them a little closer to the road. You don't have quite as nice of a yard. I thought we did pretty well. I really like the site that she gave to us. There are a good amount of people that do stay here long term, and they have quite the community. Those are the ones that are really getting in there and participating in the bingo and the church service at the rec center. I think that they give a certain attitude or atmosphere here, but it's like they're busy and they do stuff, but at the same time, they felt welcoming. I have enjoyed this park immensely. I'm glad that we came here, and I don't think that the people that stay here full time are a problem at all. I think they're a blessing. I think they make this park better. This sign is quite accurate. We've seen a lot of armadillos. First night we encountered one, I didn't even know what was going on. Next thing I know, I could hear Daisy's teeth on the shell of the armadillo. I'm like, what? No, we don't eat the armadillos, Daisy.
They're about to do one for your membership here. Outside, membership. I'm not to be here, okay?
Part of the problem is what you're doing.
Come on! Armadillo. And ran straight to Izzy, we don't eat armadillos.
She fall down?
Kyle's looking up. Amethyst does it.
Yes.
Are we ready to the dumpster?
Okay.
Enjoy the beauty of all these oak trees with the Spanish moss and the palmettos. It's a beautiful area. Now this road right here, this is one way coming in, and the other road on the other side is one way going out. The only spots you've got one-way roads are up here in the front. Everything is two-way roads back in the back section. This right here, when you reach this with the little statues, lawn ornaments, and lights and whatnot, this is what I refer to as the choke point, where you come in through here and then you're into the back area. And this is the rec center coming up. Multiple occasions we've walked past here and there'd just be like 40 cows just chilling right here in the grass. Hello. Hello. Hi.
Hello there.
Hello.
Is that stuff playing that in
Hey there, little buddy. What you doing? Hi. This is all the center of the park right here. We've got a fire pit, horseshoes, mini golf, shuffleboard, pickleball, swing set, all going on over here in the middle. Got like a little outdoor picnic area right here. There's another outdoor picnic area on the end of the building. Inside of this is all the rec center. Let's see what we can see inside. Coming into the activity center here, the clubhouse. Right over here we've got bathrooms with showers. Now these are the only showers at any bathhouse in this whole park. All the other bathrooms are just toilets and sinks. Somebody left the lights down low in here, but the camera's doing a pretty good job of capturing the light. We got a library over here with books and DVDs. Place where you can sit down and relax, maybe let the kids play. I do know TV's worked here. I've come in here a few times and some gentlemen have been watching some sports. This is where they do bingo. This is where they do church service. We have the little puzzle room right over here. There we go. Bunch of different puzzles to choose from. And then we got a bunch of board games over here. Let's see, they've got a handwritten calendar over here. I've seen the printout one, but I've never seen the handwritten one. This is a pretty active activity center. Tanya and I stopped by here last night and they were pretty packed out in here for bingo. So we didn't come into this room. We went into the pool table room back here, which they had closed off. Like everybody was parking their motorized wheelchair things right here and then they'd gone in there and closed the doors. So this is where they've got the pool tables. They're pretty serious about their pool equipment here. They do have some confliction though. I think they need to address this. You've got that sign, and then right below it, you've got this printed out. So this one says nobody under 18, but this one says anyone under 18 must be supervision of an adult. And there is a dartboard over here too. There's only one dart, so I guess bring your own darts. Oh. Just said there was a Bible study that meets here every Wednesday night at 7. Haven't seen that printed out anywhere. We've got the bathhouse right here. This is one of those where I would just say, it's sufficient. I've gotten some nice good hot showers here. The quantity of hot water is good. Never a fan though of shower curtains. In any case, I don't really like shower curtains at all. But to put them with the toilets, not a real fan of that. Back here in the back, there is another little picnic area with a little barbecue pit. I think I would kind of enjoy this with just I like sitting and watching the cows. Be able to come over here and sit, and if the cows are over in this area, which they come over here more frequently. Like every other day we see quite a few cows. In this back parking lot there is a basketball hoop, and there are some balls that are back here. Let's take a look. One of them is a soccer ball. No, there's a good basketball back here. Let me check the air on them. Oh, that's good. That is well pumped up, ready to go. It's a cheaper backboard there, but it's functional. And I don't recall ever seeing any kind of swings like this before, but they've got them all over this little area right here. The downside, this fabric can rip pretty easily. I think one of them was ripped. And then I've seen somebody was burning off some wood over here during the day. I was kind of surprised. I thought we were in a burn ban, but it looked like maintenance was working on it. This whole central area is very well lit up at night. In fact, this pickleball court will blind you. But then it does look like someone is able to turn it off. When you're ready to play mini golf, they've got everything right there for you. And I also thought it was kind of cute how they took all these little toy kid playhouses and put them all throughout here, and then all these little lights. I mean, it's not exactly like the best, but I think for what they're working with here, I think that they've made this really nice. We enjoy just walking in this general direction every night with Daisy. And there's this little gazebo. There's also a dumpster right there. I point that out because there are only 2 dumpsters in the park. So that's one for the back area, then there's one in the front. So we enjoy walking pretty much to this gazebo almost every night. There's lights all around up here, and then the ceiling fan actually functions. We've walked by and seen people just sitting here chatting. I'm going to take you all the way back in the back as we've got a dog park back here. It's kind of hidden, so I'll help you to see where it's at. Even though the person that worked the front, she made sure I knew between which sites I could find the entrance. A lot of these sites that back up to the trees are going to be where your annual sites are. I mean, there's a few of them that are still going to be kind of transient, but most of them are going to take these sites because they get the beautiful views in the woods back there. So coming right down here to the corner, you can see this kind of looks like a go-kart could go on it. Honestly, you could get a car through there, but this is the walkway for the dog park. And it's just right over there between these trees. I'd say small to medium-sized dog park you've got here. They've got water back there in the back. Got a little picnic table there, a little bench right outside, a little trash receptacle here, and I'm wondering, yep, people are saving their plastic bags to use to pick up the poo. Thanks for the dog park, 1,000 Trails, 3 Flags. We appreciate you. Now, I believe back here in the back, you've got this open area, which is basically under the power lines. And that looks like storage. So if you need to pay them for some storage, it winds up coming back in this area. That looks like a golf driving range. I can see numbers, 50, 100, 150. I have to check the map to see if that was on there. I don't recall any mention of like a driving range. That's neat. You can really tell there's a lot more tree coverage going on back here, which is why if you need to use Starlink, you may be better off being up in the front section. Few openings right here. I think that this is the pass-through to go over to the storage area right there. I wanted to take look at one of these empty sites back here, and they are definitely not as big in this back area. Definitely not as long, a little bit more raised up, which, you know, could be good for flooding and whatnot. There's your water, there's your sewer. Yeah, this is one of the older 50 amp sites. I'll show you what they look like up on the front. I believe over there you can see like the pop-up and everything. That's where the 30 amp ones are. And those are back ends too, I just noticed. I believe there's about 200 sites here. It's a pretty good sized park. I've seen parks with less, but this stays pretty busy. It's a popular area. The weather's been nice. It's been mid-March. Other parts of the country have still been freezing and having snow, whereas here temps have been anywhere from high 40s up into the 80s. And let's take a quick look at laundry. Got that's 7 washers, 7 dryers. One's currently up, 2 are out of order. You can use an app, which they've got the information here for the app, or you can use quarters. $2 to wash, $2.25 if you add extra time, and $2 to dry. Adding an extra quarter gets you a couple extra minutes. I've seen it pretty busy in here around noonish when I've come in to use it. Ooh, this AC is actually working really well. Set to 68. It feels nice and chill in here. You got a mud sink back in the back, some paper towels, an ironing board that needs a top to it. And then I was able to, amidst it being busy in here, I was able to use the table in the middle and take care of folding my personal belongings before heading out. This does not get locked up at night, which I greatly appreciate. Heading back towards the front area, I'll show you where the front dumpster is. Not all of the sites up here are created equal. Some are shorter than others. I believe the office has a list of what lengths they are for the different sites. Our site with our 41-foot RV, we had plenty of space for the truck in the front and could have even gotten a car in the back. So they gave us a nice long spot. As we approach the trash, you can see a couple of cabins there on the end. I haven't seen any cabins here that are like nightly or weekly rental. They appear to all be lived in full time. So I just think that if you want to stay here, you got to wait for one of those to come open. And unfortunately, with only 2 dumpsters in the whole park, the trash tends to fill up. So this little in-between roads here are pretty narrow. You obviously can't park on them. You got to park on the grass. It's not really an option. The only thing that I really worry about is when coming out, like say this one here wants to come out and this trailer sitting right here. That is where I feel like it gets a little bit tight. So notice the empty spot right here looks pretty big. I was going to kind of swing by that real quick. You can kind of see how it lifts up a little bit. There's gravel here. It's just so overgrown. But you've got the brand new 50-amp hookups all in this area. We'll go take a look at my site. People are over there. They're cooking, having a good time. I don't want to disturb them. All right, and this is our spot. We've got 1 tall southern pine on our spot. I've just been kind of parking little cattywampus like that just to stay further out of the road in case anybody does need some clearance when going. Like let's say they'd leave before us. I feel like the angle that I parked at would make it easier for them to get out. I mean, some people might say this is tight. For me, I don't think this is bad at all. We've never felt uncomfortable in here. And then back behind this site, we have got still what I feel is plenty of space. If we had another vehicle, we could easily park it in here, kind of like what they've done over there. And take a look. The water spigot's a little bit far back for us since my hookup is up in the passenger storage. But here is a brand new 50-amp full hookups. The power. And then there is the sewer connection. And there is a dog that likes to crawl across my sewer connections and hang out over here in the shade. I don't blame her. She's a good girl. Yes, she is. She's a good girl. Meow. You trying to get to me? You want to come see me?
There you go.
So all in all, I've really enjoyed this park. I think that for what we get, it's terrific. Not real happy with the fact that I could only do 2 weeks at a time here, but I get it. People that want to come down from the south, they're trying to escape from the cold. This is a decent place to stop and stay. And you're probably meeting up with other friends from around the United States that want to come here and hang out. So I get it from that perspective. As far as internet goes here, T-Mobile has for the most part been decent. The T-Mobile home a couple of times will all of a sudden just kind of go on the fritz and I'll have to reboot it. Not entirely certain what is going on with that. Starlink would have worked easily if we needed it, but I'm still saving that $165 for other things while I'm trying to make the T-Mobile work for us. Haven't had to use any other cell providers, so everything else has stayed off at the moment. As far as in the area for shopping, there's 6 Publix grocery stores that service the Villages area. That just kind of blew my mind. I would say there's about at least 3 Walmarts, including a Walmart neighborhood market. The closest Walmart is a little over 8 miles away. You can get to a Publix at 3 miles away. There is a smaller chain grocery called Save-A-Lot that's only about 2 miles away from here, right in kind of downtown Wildwood. So you've got plenty of shopping for what you need. At about 17 miles away, you can get to a Sam's Club. And there's a lot of other stores over in that general area. If you like going to places like Lowe's or GameStop, quite a bit to choose from over there. 17 miles is not too terribly bad for when you're stocking up for things like at Sam's Club. The Villages is a very interesting place. There's golf cart roads all over the place. They have at least 2 of these areas that are designed to look like an old-fashioned downtown, where on Saturdays they have had live music. And we've driven through. In fact, the last one we drove through was the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day, and oh my goodness, that was nuts. And so many people down there. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear the music. We were just driving around trying to help the girls kind of soak in what the Villages was all about. I didn't find it annoying in any way having to be around the Villages. And in case you've heard any of the rumors, we tried to count how many golf carts we could see with loofahs hanging on the side. We didn't see a single one. I think somebody has said the jig is up and they stopped hanging their loofahs on the golf cart. If you don't know what that's about, it's too embarrassing. I don't want to talk about it on our video. Hit me up in the comments and I'll see if I can't clue you into what's going on there. There are plenty of kids that are here, but I haven't noticed as much of the kids gathering together and having fun. This seems to be more of a place where the older couples are gathering together and having fun. Nothing wrong with that, but at no point have I felt like the older couples are making it less fun for the kids. There are plenty of other Thousand Trails owned parks within Florida where they do things like not let anybody be away from their parents that's under 16. I have not gotten that feeling from this park whatsoever. So the girls have gone out and walked Daisy without any problems by themselves, without having to be escorted by a parent. We appreciate that. We don't really care for parks where they're keeping a hard eye on anybody under the age of 18. This is only 45 miles away from Thousand Trails Orlando. Makes it pretty convenient. We went back for a birthday party to Thousand Trails Orlando. Kira's friend had a party, and so we're like, that's not too far for a Sunday to drive back down there and attend a birthday party. Which then also means that getting to Disney World, 50 or 60 miles, I suppose, from here. It's not terrible. It's not the worst. But I appreciate this area more because it's a much more laid-back area. Whereas being over in the Orlando area, you've got a lot of tourists, a lot of city. It's a big city, and just traffic is horrible. I didn't care for it as much. I like this park better than Thousand Trails Orlando because it's much more chill, much more laid back, much more my speed and pace of day-to-day life. All right, that is all that I have got for the Thousand Trails Three Flags in Wildwood, Florida. I hope you enjoyed my review, and I hope you found this useful. I do think we will come back to this park in the future. I don't have any issues with coming to this park. I like it, and since I've gotten here, I've tried to convince a few of my friends, come on, you should come over here. Give it a chance. All right. Thank y'all so much for watching our videos. Remember that life happens, even a nice RV park. That should encourage you to get out there, right? Stay fresh, cheese bags. Oh, and by the way, hello to Rich, who drives the Mini Cooper. Rich, we met at 1,000 Trails over a year ago, and we bumped into each other here at this park. Just last little shout out to Rich. Hey, Rich, sorry I didn't get to say farewell. Work's been real busy this week. Adios, y'all.